This wire looks harmless, but this aluminum wire has been the cause of thousands of home fires in homes that were built in the late 60s and early 70s. Hello everyone, Flannel Guy here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the dangers of aluminum wiring and how to make them safe, and explain why we have it in some homes. So in the late 60s, and or let's say mid 60s, 65 through say 74, there was a huge price increase in copper, and therefore the copper wiring was expensive, and many people say that the price increase or the shortage of copper was due to the manufacturing of ammunition for the Vietnam War. So that would make sense because these are the years that we're talking about. And so what I'm going to tell you in this video is why it can be unsafe if not handled properly, and how to make sure that you've got low risk of fire in your home. And again, I'm not saying that aluminum wiring is bad, but you need to know how to handle it to make sure that your home is safe. What happens with aluminum wiring is that as it heats up, and it heats up when you have power flowing through it, it expands and contracts, and it's also soft. So as it expands and contracts, when you have it J-hooked around a copper terminal screw, for example, this thing will expand and contract and eventually wiggle itself loose a little bit. So what's the problem with that? Whenever you have a loose wire, or even a wire that has a nick in it, like this one does, I'm not sure if it's focused on it, but there's a little nick in there, it creates resistance. So remember that word in this video, resistance, and resistance creates heat. Loose connections create heat, right? So whenever you have resistance, it's going to create heat, and that heat will be to the point where it's so great that it starts melting the outlet. It'll start melting your wire nuts, is the right word. So that's where the problem is. It's not the wire here itself, it's at the connection point, and there are ways to make it safe. So when it gets loose, electricity has a harder time getting through it, and sometimes if it's really loose, it creates an arc, and that's just going to heat everything up. When you are twisting wires together in the wire nut, especially with copper, you could have a situation where it loosens and contracts and loosens and contracts, and now there's a little gap around some of the winds with the copper, and that'll create some resistance and heat, and then you're melting the wire nuts, which I've had happen. This house that I'm standing in right now has got aluminum wiring, so I personally have dealt with this. All right, so now this resistance can create heat, but it's not enough for the breaker in the panel to sense it and then trip. So now you could have a fire downstream at one of your outlets, and the panel doesn't know, and the breaker's not tripping, because usually it's going to trip with an overload, or if you have one of the new arc fault breakers, which most homes don't unless they're new, have an arc fault breaker, then it could potentially sense that situation happening, and then it could trip. All right, so the other thing, like I said earlier, aluminum is softer than copper, so if you're really tightening down on a terminal screw, it could crush it a little bit easier than it can with copper, and now you're making it smaller, and you're creating a potential situation for it to have an arc and resistance and create heat. If you do not strip the wire enough, and now you're trying to tighten down on the terminal screw, and you've got a little bit of the insulation, wire insulation underneath here, and therefore there's a little gap going on again, you're going to have a problem. Now, aluminum wiring over time also gets very brittle. If you've ever tried to work with aluminum wiring and twist a wire nut on it, sometimes it just snaps off. Okay, it could snap off very easily if you're trying to bend it, and let's say you strip it and you want to put a new J-hook on it to go around here. They snap off sometimes, and now you're left with a situation where you've got a shorter wire in your box, and now how do you wire it? So there are a lot of different options in remediating this. So you've got copalum connections, which is means copper to aluminum. Crimp connections, where you need a special tool to crimp it really tight. Most homeowners don't have that. That's something that an electrician could do, but still the electrician's likely going to do something else. And one of them is the Alumicom connections. I've got some of these that I've used, and this is made to put aluminum wire in one and maybe copper coming out of the other. They make them these in 2s and 3s and 4s. And inside here, there is a little bit of the grease that helps with the connection point, and also you tighten them down with these screws. You should be using a torque screwdriver for these. It's not complicated, but again, you're not bending this in a J-hook, and it keeps it straight. I have another video that I'm also going to link to that in the comments section, and also the description, that shows you exactly how to use these things. I go through it all and dealing with making your aluminum connection safe. Okay, so again, it's not the wire itself is not dangerous. It's the connection points, and it's really because how it behaves over time. That's the issue. You're also gonna, if you're looking to buy a house and it's got aluminum wiring, this is the other thing you need to know, which is it's harder to insure the house with aluminum wiring. A lot of insurance companies will not accept or not insure a home that has aluminum wiring, despite whether or not it has been properly remediated. Meaning you've got the Alumicon connections, or you did the crimp pigtailing, or some of the other methods that I talk about in other videos. They still may not accept the aluminum wiring. So what you want to do is, first, before you even make an offer on a home with aluminum wiring, if you're looking in an area where a lot of homes do have aluminum wiring, you should start speaking with insurance companies, finding out A, whether they accept, they'll insure homes with aluminum wiring, and B, what your premium would look like, okay? Because the other option, which is really too expensive, is to have the whole house rewired with copper. And I've done that, not in my whole house, but I've rewired the largest areas of concern. So I've got a sub panel in the basement, and from there I ran a copper 12 gauge wire to each bathroom, because you've got hair dryers and curling irons and all of those things. So I've got my bathrooms on copper, I've got my microwave on copper, and the other things in the kitchen are all on copper now. And therefore what's left are the random outlets around the house that are not likely going to have draw high power or high number of watts, and also the lighting. Okay, so maybe if you wanted to look at that could be another thing, where you just rewire only the areas of greatest concern. But hopefully this explains to you what the aluminum wiring is and why you have it, and that it doesn't have to be a deal breaker for you. You don't have to lose sleep at night if you know that you're taking care of everything. Okay, so my house is safe. I'm not concerned anymore. You can make sure your house is safe as well. Please give me that like button. It really helps the algorithm. Subscribe if this video is also helpful, because I got so many more like this that are perfect for homeowners and things that you can do yourself without having to hire a professional. So thanks for watching, everyone, and we will see you again next time.